Welcome back to Filter Coffee Football. Today we're going to do a wrap up of the transfer deadline day. So basically, we're going to jot down our top five transfers for deadline day. Two main categories. One, transfer has to have occurred on deadline day. And the second category that we decided is a transfer based on the impact that the player will have this season and what kind of a surprise level the actual deadline day had. Because technically, Cristiano Ronaldo did complete his move on transfer day, but I mean that wasn't really a surprise. We all knew that was coming. So as I mentioned, Ronaldo is not going to be part of this list. But yeah, me and Karthik, we're going to get started in a bit. But before we do that, please hit that like button, share, subscribe, and yeah, help us grow. More subscribers we get, the easier it is for us to grow. So yeah, please help us grow real soon. But yeah, not wasting any more time. Let's get right into it. So number five for us was going to be Emerson Royal. Karthik, please take this one away.
A royal mistake by Barcelona. Pun intended. Yes, definitely. Uh, they got a player in Emerson Royal. Seems to be a quality player. Then eventually went out on loan to Betis. Comes back. Then is supposedly shown as a new signing. Given a $300 million release clause. And what do you see on transfer deadline day? He transfers for 1/10 of that price to like Tottenham Hotspurs. That itself tells you the joke that this transfer has been. And we think that this is the least impactful, but it's here for a reason. It's here to show us how mismanagement can actually cause you to like sell off a player who you've just claimed is going to be with your team for a long time.
No, and I also think he's actually a pretty good player in and of himself. I mean, he had a good time at Betis, and that's what opened the doors for Hector Bellerin to go to Real Betis eventually. But it also solves that right fullback problem because clearly Nuno Espirito Santo doesn't really rate what is his name?
Or yeah,
Not Aurier, nor does he rate the player that they
Danny
got from.
Gold.
Sorry.
Danny
Oh,
Rose got
who?
Rose.
Oh yeah,
Danny Rose.
Danny Rose went on a free, and then he joined Watford, I believe, on a free. And they had good lord, I'm completely blanking on the right back's name from Wolves. I know exactly what I'm trying to talk about. Anyway, that player, clearly Nuno doesn't trust him anymore for this season. But yeah, so I think he's a decent signing for Spurs for this season. I mean, for their quality, I mean, I think he's really good. But yeah, like you said, bad business from Barcelona on that one. Let's go down to number four. For us, that was going to be Eduardo Camavinga. Now, a lot of people are really excited about the signing. They think it's an amazing move, and everybody was waiting to see where he was going to go this season, whether it was going to be PSG, whether it was going to be Manchester City, or whether he was actually going to get that move to Real Madrid. Surprisingly, nobody even put a bid in for the player all the way to deadline day. And again, I believe the only reason he came in was because Real Madrid knew for a fact that Mbappe wasn't going to make it in. So they had to make at least one signing to kind of put out some sort of intention that, okay, we are trying to do some sort of real business this transfer market. But what do you think about this move?
I think the memes just tried themselves. Have you seen that water leakage meme where the water is leaking and someone just slaps something on it and it stops? This is exactly the same situation where Real Madrid and the fans and even Kylian Mbappe has been like clamoring for Mbappe to move to Madrid. What do Madrid do? Slap a plaster saying, "Oh, this is Eduardo Camavinga. That's what we are going to get this season." Because apparently PSG have been very hard to negotiate, which is very obvious because they are a state-funded club who don't really need anyone's money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly, I don't think Camavinga is a great potential, but I don't think he's going to start or make any sort of realistic impact this season. If he does, that's probably why we still kept him in our top five most important transfers. But farther back in the list because I think he's just going to be like that. Rotation option probably needs another 2 or 3 seasons just to bed in. I'm actually happy for Real Madrid because they saved a lot of money there. Anyway, let's move over to our number three, which is Saul Niguez. I think that's how you go for the last name. But yeah, Saul to Chelsea. It's a loan with an option to buy. It's sort of like an obligation because it's like he needs to meet certain terms to be able to convert it to an obligation. But those terms are pretty much going to be met by the way the contract has been shaped out. Yeah, your opinions on that one?
I think that's a great move. It definitely is a great move. It helps them rotate. Saul is a proven player. He's been there. He's done that. I mean, he's been a spark in the Champions League campaigns for Atletico. He's been quite the star. I'm surprised how they're letting him go on loan, except for maybe the fact that it is just finances that dictate them to let him leave.
Yeah,
That's what I think.
yeah. I mean, rumored to be on 300K a week, which is insane by Atletico standards. Um, he also was a more of a bit part player last season, so maybe that's another reason why. Plus, they got Rodrigo De Paul in this season, so I mean that's an amazing signing in and of himself. So, and De Paul seems to have already slotted himself right into that team. So, I guess Saul is just excess baggage at this point. But good for Tuchel. I mean, lots of depth in that midfield now. I mean, where don't they have depth now? They have amazing depth all the way through, like goalkeeping, defense, wing backs, attacking wings, even in the striker position, and now in the midfield as well. So I I would not be surprised if Chelsea left the league title at the end of this season. That's
That's
me
the
just
bare
putting it out
minimum
there.
expectation, right? I mean, you won a Champions League with a manager who was only there for half the season, taking over a team that was down in the dumps. You can't just tell me that they could be title contenders. No, they are title contenders. Let's not joke about this.
Yeah, I mean, and Saul really gets them there. Like he's that just that extra bit of energy in there because now that puts them right in competition with the depth that Manchester City have, which is wow. I'd never thought anybody could be able to compete with Manchester City in terms of their team depth, but here we have them. Anyway, moving on to our number two choice. Now, this one is slightly left field. This one is Coop Miners from AZ Alkmaar to Atalanta. You really love this move, don't you?
I did. This is a player that I've been tracking for like a fair while because hey, Arsenal transfers apparently linked with us. Why not? And from the profile that we are looking at, he is definitely a very much like for like Granit Xhaka replacement, or rather an updated Xhaka replacement. And for the price that he went to Atlanta, I think Arsenal made a very big mistake in like not chasing him. But uh, that apart, uh, Atlanta have been smart in their acquisitions. They know their team has been on a high wave for past 1.5 seasons, and they for sure know that others are going to come chasing for their players. So now Atlanta reinforcing, backing their manager, and making the right moves, whereas other clubs are dithering over signing prospects. I think Coop Miners will be a solid acquisition as the years go.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, you clearly know a lot more about this player than I do. The only reason that this move excites me is because he's going to Atalanta. And over the last couple of years, one thing I've realized is that Atalanta know how to pick their players. So that's really what's gotten me excited about this move. And I think he's going to be an amazing addition. I really hope with Juventus having a sketchy start and Inter not being quite the powerhouse without Romelu Lukaku or Antonio Conte being in there, that Atalanta can actually try and really push for the title this season. Oh, that would be amazing.
Maybe.
Wow. Anyway, but yeah, moving down to our number one. Now this one hit all the notes that we wanted to. It's a big signing. It came completely out of left field, and we both believe it's going to make an amazing impact on the team, both the team that he's going out of and the team that he's going into. and also makes a perfect sandwich from Emerson Royal to number one at Antoine Griezmann, going back to Atleti on a loan with an option which is kind of in the similar terms now. It's almost like it's going to be an obligation to buy based off of the terms of the contract. Barca are set to make 50 million if that deal actually goes through, and obviously the money that they save. So this move was primarily just a money saving move from the point of view of Barcelona. But I mean, you spend 120 on a striker, you bring him in, and then you ship him back out for less than half of that money, and having gotten basically nothing out of him because Barcelona was still being driven by Messi at that point. And now you send him back over to Atleti, and you basically just strengthen their chances of winning the league. So, what do you have to say about that one?
I have to say that Barcelona do not have a certified financial consultant. I think that's the only way that I see this transfer, where either they don't understand the value of money or they don't know how it works, which was apparent with their other mismanagement woes and supposedly why Messi left. It's a very good move for Atletico, wherein they get a player they've been like you quite used to, and they piggybacked on Antoine's form. Like it was a like for like situation where they were riding on his wave for a while till Barcelona came calling. Do you even remember this transfer rumor when Griezmann himself like posted a video saying, "I'm gonna tell you in 2 days where I'm going to move. I'm going to tell you in 2 days, one day where I'm going
Oh,
to
yeah, wasn't
move."
that like a whole documentary thing, and then he ended up releasing like a
Yeah,
whole 1 hour thing where it's like, no, I'm going to stay at
yeah,
Atleti.
he was going to stay at Atletico Madrid. I mean, it was just a video where he dramatized his contract extension. I probably think that would have worked well this time around. That would have been classic. That would have been the mother of all comebacks. Cristiano Ronaldo comes back. Oh, everyone knows he was going to come back to Manchester United. There's no element of surprise in that. But this transfer, this video would have
Isn't
made
there
a
though?
lot.
Isn't there though? We have a video out about why the Cristiano Ronaldo move isn't that good, and one of those elements is that probably wasn't his first choice. But anyway, coming back to the Griezmann deal, please go ahead.
So I think it just makes Atletico stronger with their recent acquisitions. They even landed Luke De Jong from Sevilla. So they've
Oh,
got like
Barcelona did.
yeah, sorry, Barcelona did. My bad. Uh, Atletico, but have made smart signings. I mean, getting Rodrigo de Paul, getting Antoine Griezmann, they're just going to probably land the league at the rate at which they're going, because Real Madrid don't seem to have landed all their transfer targets. Barcelona currently are Barcelona, so I'll leave it at that. Now this is a clear shot for Atletico to go for the title. This is like saying, oh, okay, they could be title contenders. No, they are title contenders. At least this season they are.
Oh
That's what
yeah,
I.
I mean for the first time I think in a long time, Atletico Madrid are favorites to win La Liga, which is absolutely amazing for that team. So yeah, I hope they don't because I'm a Barcelona supporter, but I'm pretty sure they will. But yeah, that was our top five. Again, Emerson Royal, Eduardo Camavinga, Saul Niguez, um, Coop Miners, and Antoine Griezmann. So please go ahead, look up these players, keep an eye on them because we think these are the players that are really going to make the biggest impact amongst all the transfer deadline day players this season. We did have a few honorable mentions in there as well. I did want to. I mean, I'm going to let you bring up one player that you think was kind of really close to that list, and I'm going to bring up one player that I think was really kind of close to that list for me. The one that I personally have had a long attachment with was Odson Edward, who finally made the move to Crystal Palace. Great time at Celtic, and he had to move because Celtic was having lots of issues, and he's been doing much better, and he deserves that move up. For the longest time, I was hoping that he would come to Arsenal.
Me too.
Somehow Crystal Palace have gotten their hands on him, so I'm psyched for them. Excited to see where that goes. What about you? What's your shout out?
So I am just going to throw this to all the nostalgia fans and say, have you ever watched Goal? Do you remember this guy called Santiago Munoz, who's like signed for Newcastle right now? Old timers will remember this. New football fans, people watching football probably more recently, just look him up. Just Google Goal Newcastle
Best thing,
Santiago.
just go and
That's it.
watch the movie. It's an amazing movie. The sequel not so good, but the original movie was really good. All right, but yeah, that was an amazing shout out. But yeah, that's it for us today. Top 5 transfers on deadline day that we think are going to make a huge impact this season. And yeah, please like, share, subscribe. Also, look at all these other videos that we have going on. We'll have a few more videos coming in over the next few days. Most importantly and most attached that we are to is the video for women's football. So please keep an eye out for that. And yeah, take care, guys, and have a great day. See ya.
Follow us on Instagram too. You keep forgetting to
I
plug
keep
that.
forgetting to plug that. Yes, follow our Instagram too.
Yeah.
Thanks. Take care,
Bye
guys.
bye.
Bye.